Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, which is Certified Business Analysis Professional. My name is Varun, and I hope you are finding my YouTube video tutorials helpful for your CBAP, ECBA, and CBAP examination, CCBA examination, sorry. And so far so good. We were on techniques. Most of the analysis techniques we have done, and we are left with the only three analysis techniques. And which are these? Root cause analysis, SWOT analysis, vendor assessment. These three techniques are very easy, and I hope this tutorial will help you in understanding those in easy peasy way. So let's move ahead. So what is RCA? RCA is nothing but the root cause analysis, and it is also known as cause and effect diagram or cause and effect analysis. Also, since this is being founded by the Ishikawa, a person, that's why on his name this technique is called by Ishikawa diagram as well. And since the diagram looks like a skeletal of a fish, so that's why it's known as a fishbone diagram. So I hope you are able to relate it. I'll show you this diagram in next slide as well. So root cause analysis, cause and effect analysis or diagram, Ishikawa diagram, fishbone diagram, is used to identify and evaluate the underlying causes of a problem. It is a systematic examination of a problem or situation that focuses on the problem's origin. There might be more than one root cause contributing to the effects. So there are two type of root cause means analysis we do in root cause analysis. One is the reactive analysis, another is the proactive analysis. Reactive analysis basically to as a keyword suggesting you reactive. This means once anything has been occurred, then you are taking any action, right? That's why it's reactive. For an example, suppose there is the problem is being identified that the data is not getting sync in between between the two application A and B. So that's the problem we have identified, and then there are 100 records that are missing in let's say platform or application B. So what you are doing as a reactive correction, you are correcting those, like you are simply copying the missing entries from platform A to platform B. That's a corrective action that you are doing, right? And the second thing is the proactive analysis or proactive action. So it's like you are trying to identify the problem itself, and then you are fixing the problem so that that problem does not occur in the future as well. In above example, the two system are not in a sync. We have tried to identify what is the problem. The problem was like the scheduler or the batch does not run, due to which the data did not get in sync. Then why that is not run? Because there are different parallel processes that were running at the same time, which leads to left very less space for this particular job to execute. So the fix you have done that instead of that timing, you have scheduled it on a different time when there is no other process or the job is running. Right, so that's a problem fixing. So proactive analysis or proactive action would might take some time to you know to implement. Root cause analysis use four main activities. The first one is like definition of the problem. Like in above case, the problem was like the data was not getting sync in between the two platforms. That was the problem statement. Then you have the second activity that generally you do in this is to collect the data, like at what time the problem is occurring, how frequent it is that, how many entries are missing, and which is the effective system. Uh, so what could be the possible causes? What is the criticality of that problem? What's the nature? So these kind of factors that you bring into play, and then you accordingly you go ahead, and then you identify the real cause of that problem. So like in above case, we have identified the batch or the scheduler did not run, and why that not run, because there were different other schedulers running at the same time, which left very space for processing or executing those jobs as well, because of a load, right? Then you identify the action, like whether you want to take a proactive action or a reactive action. Accordingly you take an action, right? So that's a root cause analysis. uh, So generally in root cause, and when we do the root cause analysis, so to come to a conclusion, you do a lot of things, like you try to identify the real cause, what action you have taken, whether you have taken a preventive or corrective action, you also put there. You also tells like what how much impact that problem has done on the platform or an application, how many users been affected, what fix you have done, and what has been guaranteed that problem will not occur in future. So a lot of points that you also mention a root cause analysis once you fix the problem. Then, as I said, the fishbone diagram, right? So here you can see the effect of the problem. So you identify the different. The problem is you state the problem here or somewhere here that the data is not getting a sync in between the two platforms. That's the effect. And what would be the possible or plausible causes? You try to identify and categorize them in different blocks here, right? It could be a human error. It could be the technical fault. It could be that the crowns did not, or a scheduler or batch fails. It could be like the batch is still running and did not, execute it completely, left few records. So it could be different underlying causes as well. So you try to identify the primary cause for each category, and overall picture when you have created, then you identify the real effective cause for the problem, right? So that's why it's cause and effect. The five whys. Well, the five whys is an another method to find out the real cause for the problem, uh, and this is basically, so this is also, since this was founded by Teiichi Ono and in Japan, and I think it's Toyota Motors where this Teiichi Ono described this technique to identify the real cause for the problem. And generally within the three whys, you will able to find your answer. In above the case that why the systems or the discrepancy in the system, because the first why is because the job or the bash did not run. That's the first why. Why the job and the bash didn't run? Because there are different processes running at the parallelly at the same time, which left very less process or buffer, or there is a load or something. Those reason could be there. So that's the second why. Then you go to, okay, why it happens, because there are a lot of other parallel processes running. Then you go to the another why. Okay, so generally within two or three whys you will able to find your real cause, and then you try to fix that one. So I hope you understand fishbone diagram, the five whys. Then what are the pros and the cons? It focuses only on cause and effect analysis. It helps stakeholders to specify an effective solution at the appropriate cause for corrective action. And the weaknesses are, it works best when the business analyst has formal training to ensure that the root cause, not just symptoms of the problem, are identified. May be difficult with a complex problem. The potential exists to lead to trail or dead end conclusion. Then we have SWOT analysis, also known as the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat analysis. And as the keywords stating strength, you identify the strength of your organization or process wherever you are trying to apply that formula. The weakness, opportunity, and threat. SWOT analysis can be used to evaluate an organization current environment, share information learned with stakeholders, identify the best possible alternatives to meet an organization needs, identify potential barriers to success and create action plans to overcome barriers, adjust and redefine plans throughout a project as a new need arises. Identify areas of strength that will assist an organization in implementing new strategies. Develop criteria for evaluating project success based on a given set of requirements. Identify areas of weakness that could undermine project goals, and develop strategies to address outstanding threats. All those sort of things that you can do with SWOT analysis. And the elements would be obviously strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. Strength is something like that you are stronger in, and that is just because of your strength, you are on your top of your industry. Anything that assist group does well may include experience, personal effective processes, IT system, customer relationship, or any other internal factor that leads to success. The weakness is action or functions that the assist group does poorly or not at all. And remember, strength and weaknesses are always internal to your organization system or processes, or these are internal basically. Opportunities and threats, these are external that you really want to exploit or explore more. So external factors or which the asset group may be able to take an advantage may include new markets, new technology, changes in the competitive marketplace, or other forces. And threat could be external factors that can negatively affect the assessed group. There may be include factors such as the entrance into the market of new competitor, economic downstairs, or other forces. So what are the pros and the cons? So pros are is a valuable tool to aid in understanding the organization, product, process, or stakeholders. It enables business analysts to direct the stakeholder focus to the factors that are important to the business. And the cons are the results of the SWOT analysis provide a high level view. More detailed analysis often needed. And unless a clear context is defined for the SWOT analysis, the result may be unfocused and contain factors which are not relevant to the current situation. So, vendor assessment. So, vendor assessment assesses the ability of a vendor to meet commitments regarding the delivery and the consistent provision of a product or a service. So, vendor assessment, we generally, big organization or even smaller organization generally do to identify the quality of the services, the trustworthiness on that vendor, the scalability and the turnaround time for issue resolution, and how that vendor is marked, ranked in a market. So different aspect you always check before you give any contract to any vendor. When solution is provided by external vendor third party, there may be a need to ensure that supplier is financially secure, capable of maintaining specific staffing levels, compliant with standards, and able to commit appropriate skilled staff to support the solution. The assessment may be formal through the submission of RFI. So if you people not familiar with RFI, RFQ, RFT, RFP, so RFI is request for information. So let's say you are a stakeholder from one of the organization and you are trying to find some service provider, and you identified 10 different vendors, but you want information from those vendors. RFI can be submitted by you as well as by the vendors. So if you are submitting RFI, you are trying to identify additional information from those vendors related to the services. In a similar way, vendors can also formally apply or submit this RFI for their own purpose for the information they also want to seek. RFQ is request for quotation. Again, it can be filed by you or the vendors. RFQ is request for quotation. Basically it is like the pricing, to know the pricing information for particular service and support. The request for tender is like you are telling the vendors to start applying for the tenders, right? So you open the tenders window for the suppliers. Or request for proposal, that you request for the proposal, like okay, you tell me how you are going to fulfill our need, you give us a proposal, right? So the vendors then give you that proposals. It may also be very informal through word of mouth and recommendations as well. So this is vendor assessment. I hope you understand that. Then the elements that comes into the vendor assessment is like the knowledge and the expertise. So if you are trying to select any vendor, then you should have a knowledge, and uh, you should have a knowledge. Plus, you also seek the expertise of selecting the vendor. Also, this applies to the vendors as well. The knowledge, how much knowledge the vendor have, and how much experience or expertise that vendor have. Licensing and pricing models, different vendors might have the different pricing models and different licenses and their fees. So we have to you have to explore each information in those before giving a contract. The vendor market position, what is the vendor's market position, how trustworthy that vendor is, and so that you also try to find out. So it's basically a benchmarking that is set by the market itself against each vendors. So generally when you try to search for any organization, you generally go and review the organization in Glassdoors and right, or different review portals, like where the organization is standing from the employee point of view, employee friendliness point of view, or employee caring point of view. So similarly, vendors also, have some ranking in the markets. The term and the condition. What are the terms and the conditions that is laid down by the vendors against their services and support? A vendor experience, reputation, stability, that also been important factors or critical factors while assessing the vendors. Then what are the pros and the cons? Increase the chances of organization to develop a productive and fair relationship with a suitable and reliable vendor, and to improve long-term satisfaction with the decision. And the weaknesses could be it may be consuming time consuming in regards to time and the resources, does not prevent risk of failures as the partnership evolves. Subjectivity may bias the evaluation outcome. So these are the weaknesses for the vendor assessment. And that's it. I hope you understand this is very quick. But please feel free to put comments, feedback, how you're liking my videos or not, and so that I can improve something new or start giving you more examples in those sessions. So please share and subscribe to my channel as well. And I'll see you soon in a next session. Till then, take care and goodbye.